Hi, Sarah Bear. How are you? First one to join today. Hi, everyone. Hi, Nancy. Hello. Hi, guys. Just starting here, so just gonna wait and see if we can get a good amount of people before we start. How is everyone doing? How's the weather by you guys? Because the weather is freezing where I'm at right now. Literally freezing. And I absolutely can't stand it. There's also snow that turned to ice for us, so I'm slipping and sliding all day long. Hate driving in this. It's been highly annoying. Could be worse, I understand, but let me have my moment to vent about the cold. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Ronnie. So I don't do specific questions. I do full psychic readings here on live. But I always say, you know, if you are one who ends up getting a reading while on live, usually your questions are answered through your reading because Spirit knows exactly what you need in that very given moment. If you don't get to get a reading here on live, you just have to DM me and we can try and book a private reading for you. I usually do this on the weekends. If you send me a DM, I can send you my email, or you could just go on my email. It's the same handle as my TikTok at G. I don't know if I'm allowed to say certain things on here. How do you get a reading on live for free? So basically, I'm going to wait until a good amount of people are on, which it seems like a lot of people are already on right now, which is perfect. And I allow Spirit to kind of connect me who I'm drawn towards. So I kind of ask if everyone just sends and floods the feed of like comments of a relationship of a person they want to speak with when I'm ready. And then I kind of gravitate towards who Spirit wants me to have a reading for, and then we go from there. Can I get a reading? Again, it'll be whoever I am drawn to, guys. Again, I can't get through everyone's readings on live. I really wish I could. I wish I had enough time to do that and be here longer than I normally am. However, I am open to private readings as well. So again, like I've been saying to everyone, you guys can send me a DM and I can either direct you to my email, or you guys can look up my email, which is the same handle as my TikTok, and it's at Google. Yeah. I don't know what I can say without being banned here. So people say I can't talk about other platforms here. So you'll get it. See if there's any other questions before we begin, guys. I appreciate all the likes and everything. Make sure you follow for when I'm on. Again, I don't have a set time that I come on. I am a full-time working mom, and my child is going to be turning 2. So my hands are a little full and a little tied sometimes for time. So I kind of just jump on when I can. Normally around this time of night. For me, I'm EST. I'm from PA. However, the days vary. So I can't guarantee when I will be on. But if you do follow me, I am told that sometimes you can get notifications when I'm on. And sometimes I do like to make a post before I hop on. But today was kind of a spur of the moment. So from PA to, yeah, it's cold. I'm not enjoying the snow very much. And apparently we're going to get hit this weekend with snow too, which means the snow we have right now, which is already pretty thick, is actually turned to ice. And the temperatures this week are not going up. So nothing's going to melt. So that means that the storm that's coming this weekend is just going to stack right on top. So, yeah, everyone send prayers your way. Same again. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people got to snow. It's like a lot of areas and a lot of states are getting snow in the U.S. right now. I think other places are getting snow too, but... All right, guys. So without delaying this any further, I know a lot of you guys really just want a reading. So we're going to dive right into it. I am going to do my little spiel real quick and just ask that you guys be very open about my readings. Again, I can't dictate what's going to happen in a reading. I can't dictate, what is said. It's all up to Spirit. Spirit does all of the work. I'm kind of just given the messages from Spirit. I ask that you guys don't put any specific details in the comments, just the relationship of the person that you're speaking with. Again, I don't do questions. Again, your questions will be answered most likely in your reading. If for some reason I'm throwing the evidence at you and you're not understanding who it's for or it's not resonating with you, please let me know. And then either we can try and step back and see if maybe it's another family member that you weren't anticipating coming through, or it could be for someone else on the live. That's only happened to me one time when I first started live. And how we fixed that is I just gave a private reading to the person who was supposed to get the reading. Again, that's only happened once, but I do... try to tell you guys that like anything can happen here. So please bear your patience with me. But in a second, I am going to kind of take a breather and see who I am drawn towards. So you guys comment as many times as TikTok allows you to. So just kind of tell me the relationship of the person who you want to speak to. And then we will go from there. Anyone have any questions, feel free to ask. It's hard for me to try and read all these comments because it is going super fast. So if I don't answer, I'm not ignoring you. I just may not see it. And again, I talk a lot in my readings, and I'm still used to this whole TikTok part because I'm so used to just being locked in with, my reader and my sitter. That's what we call is our sitters. So I try to look at the comments every once in a while, and people say I need mods, but I'm not really sure what that is. Again, still kind of new to this. Hey, Kinsey, are you still here? Kinsey F. I'm going to write your name down. After my reading, okay, hi, Kinsey. So after my reading, I kind of do some drawing, some doodles. I kind of just write down things because they come super fast to me as well. And I try to get the flow of the reading going. Afterwards, if I don't forget, feel free to also send me a message as well, and I will send you a picture of what I've written down. Also, for everyone new here, I do have a YT page where you upload videos. So all of my lives are always uploaded there as well, because so many people asked about, getting recordings done for them to rewatch later, specifically because sometimes people get information that they might not realize in the reading what it was. And then like 2 days later, they'll be like, oh, that's what they meant. And it's just a good way for you guys to be able to look back on everything. And I can't, apparently TikTok only like records like a few minutes of a reading. So I do have it uploaded there. It's the same handle up here as well. I use the same handle for everything. Spirits with Sky. Okay, Kinsey, so I am going to sit here in silence for a little bit. I am going to try and see if I can connect with your sister. Again, please keep an open mind. Anything can come through in a reading. Even if you don't think that the information is directly towards her, it could be for you, someone around you, someone around her. It could be another loved one that is coming through. Also, let me know if there's nothing that is coming through. I do love when you guys validate everything that I'm saying, just because it kind of puts me in the direction of all of the things that they're trying to tell me. But I also really think it's important that you tell me what's not resonating, because then I can dive deeper and ask them to clarify what something is. Okay, so I'm going to sit here in silence for a little bit, see if I can connect with her, get some evidence here, and then I will throw it all at you and you let me know if it resonates with you. Okay, Kinsey? If you want to join, you can. If you prefer typing, that's up to you. If you want to join the little box that comes up, that's up to you as well. Whatever you prefer, just know that I do upload all of the readings up to YT. Again, I can't say certain other platforms or I can get banned. So that's up to you. You let me know what you want to do. Whatever's easiest for you. Okay. Hi, Kinsey.
Hi.
Let me just turn you up a little bit. Oh, I just messed my camera up. How are you? Can you hear me fine?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Okay, again, I'm going to sit here in silence for a little bit. Once I have a good amount of info, I will lay that out to you, and then we will go from there, okay?
Okay.
All right, bear with me here. Okay, I do have quite a few things coming through. A lot of it had to do with feelings. I only got a few things of like factual things. So I'm just gonna start throwing them at you. You let me know if it starts to seem like it is for your sister, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so immediately, again, a lot of the feelings that I get can either resonate with the sitter or it can resonate with the person. I do feel like this has to do with the person though as well. I kind of got like a very kind of sunken feeling. It was kind of like that feeling you get when you're like nauseous. It's like the anxiety, heavy chest. I did a lot of trembling and I was very shaky as well. I felt a big emptiness and hollow chest, but I feel as though this might be for my sitter. Sitter, I mean, and as you. I did feel as though there was a lot of some sort of tension in the neck or the back area or somewhere the neck connecting to like the head. This can also be for my sitter with sometimes there could be like confusion or it could be that there's like maybe a lot of questions. I do feel as though the female that I have in front of me is definitely someone who is full of light. I feel as though I don't know if she's very good at what she's doing and she is such a strong spirit she's able to tell me everything, or if that just talks as that's how she was as a person. She was a talker, she was good at talking. I do feel as though she was kind of showing me like shoes or clothes or some sort, so I don't know if she was into that kind of thing or you're into that thing. um and then the only other thing that I did get specifically is it's weird because I got the letter F, but then I got it also paired with also like a 4 or 5, which could be it could be an age, it could be a fifth of a month, it could be the month of April or May, or so like around springtime for something. This could be birthday, death day, anything. But I did feel like a really gut type of feeling to where like it's like kind of like someone kind of like a weakness of a person. Is any of this resonating with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so do you believe that we are probably with sis and I should move forward with the spirit?
Yes, I feel like it's probably here.
Okay. I do feel as though there is a close knit connection with this. It's funny because although I see like a closeness, I see as though there's like a laughter behind a kind of like a laughter behind like bickering kind of a thing. So I don't know if there was like bickering between someone or like it's like it's almost like the feeling I get when someone's so close that sometimes they fight, but it's fight because they are so close. It's not like a like a it's not super like it could be mean fighting to someone else, but it kind of seems like someone that like you would fight and then there was kind of like make up. Like it's kind of it was kind of giving me the same relationship that I actually have with my sister, which is funny. To where it
We did that a lot, but she also did that a lot with my husband.
okay, yeah, because it's got like some like bickering to where it, like other people would make it seem like it was like it would seem like oh well like they must hate each other, but in reality that was like also like kind of the way that they loved, and it was just
Hmm.
1 second you could be fighting, the next second it's like hey you want to go get McDonald's real quick. Like it was just like something like some like you would be 1 minute have some type of mood and then the other minute and everyone's just kind of like what just happened? Were you guys just about to have like a whole fight on the floor? Like, what's going on here? And again, there's like laughter around it, so I feel like this is like a running joke. So you said that this might be for you or your husband.
Yes, my husband and her, their funny thing was to flip each other off every time they came in contact with each other.
Well, see, there it is. There's the funniness. I also feel like she brings me to her passing, and I feel as though her passing was unexpected. Um, I feel as though it definitely I feel like there was like a I think the emptiness that I was feeling had a lot to do with you as well. It's kind of like it was kind of making me feel as though what you felt when it had happened, like the shakiness, the trembling, because that's usually when they send me it's something. It's just like a person is in such shock that it's like they can't even believe it happened. They can't believe that they're gone, kind of a thing. Um, but she's not drawing me exactly towards her passing just yet. That's still a question mark to me, but she it feels like she wants to talk a lot more about memories.
Yes,
Um,
very sudden. and yes, very, very empty inside. I'm still not recovered.
Yeah, she used the word hollow, like a hollow chest, like an emptiness, like that, like that, like empty, nauseous feeling, like something's missing.
Yes.
Um, she was mentioning like, okay, so she was kind of mentioning like sleepovers. So I don't know. It's kind of like she was mentioning sleepovers, but it was just like funny, like to where like she was kind of making fun around it, to where it was like technically it wasn't sleepovers because like we were together, but like she's kind of mentioning like something along the lines of like kind of like the sleepovers, like your basic sleepovers you would think of. So I don't know if sleepovers kind of resonates with you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like just like hang out at night. She also, let me see. Back to the shoes and clothes. Was she into like clothing and like kind of fashion sense, or someone into fashion sense, and she would be mentioning shoes and clothes?
Yes, she was into shoes and clothes, and with her passing, I have her shoes and clothes, so
I
that's
feel as
probably
though
like a haha. You
it's
have my
funny.
clothes.
It's funny because it feels as though she was also the type who would get angry when you would take her clothes, and it's like now you took her clothes, and she's like kind of like, I want them back. So I don't know if on the normal it was like a normal thing for you guys to be stealing their clothes, which I feel like
Yes.
every sister's that's very
Yes.
but I feel like this was like a very specific thing. Like you talked about it a lot, and it was like very like adamant with you guys and your family, like you stealing each other's stuff, and like it just is like kind of like the epiphany, like you would have her stuff, kind of a thing.
Yes.
Um, is somebody into makeup as well?
She was very into makeup, eyelashes.
Yeah, I was gonna say she showed me an eyelash curler,
Yes.
so that's why. Um, But it's like it's funny because she's like sending me things, and it's just like it feels like she has so much to say. Like it feels like the relationship you guys had was like when you guys were together. It was just like you guys couldn't stop talking. Like there was always something to talk about. There was. It's kind of like she has so much built up things that she wants to talk about, and because it's been so long, it's just like she's like spitting out all of this information. Like she's spitting out all of these images, and I'm just like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Like wait! Like
Yes.
I can only talk so fast here.
Yes, we were very close.
Yeah, in the beginning, like I said, it was kind of like you guys were like this. I feel like there wasn't a lot of times to where you guys weren't together or at least talking. I feel as though I also feel as though this is kind of recent. I don't feel like this has been a long time since she has been gone.
That's correct.
Um, because she is such a strong spirit. It just seems like it's definitely been kind of closer. Um, I feel as though she's talking about how like she was kind of a person who really didn't care what people thought too, and I feel like it was kind of like she's kind of showing me like there was things that people are into, and then there's some people who like are nervous and like they care about what people think, so then they'll go into other things. Like she was kind of like a person who like dabbled into what she'd liked, and she didn't care what people thought. Like she might have even like liked or enjoyed things that most people would think were weird, or like for instance, she's kind of given me the like analogy of like someone being super obsessed with like Halloween kind of a thing, like showing me bats and stuff, and then someone being like, you know, judging them on it, and then she doesn't care about the judgment. She likes what she likes, and like that's it. um
Yes, that's correct.
I also feel like stubborn headedness too. um
Very stubborn, very, oh, yes.
Um, I also feel as though she might have been, she's kind of talking about how like she may have been the sister or just the person in general who was more vocal about things. So like if there was like a problem, she would be the one that was more vocal about things versus you might want
Yes.
to not. You might want to kind of like be like, oh, let's not do that. And she was just like, nah, like we're going for it. Like no.
Yes.
Um, I feel as though she's also bringing up, I don't know if this resonates with you, but she's bringing up how like you don't always speak your mind the way that you should. And that you kind of I don't know if it kind of seems like you might have some people pleasing tendencies that she would not be very happy with in
Mhm.
general. And it's kind of like, if I was there, this wouldn't be happening. And she kind of like wants to be like a sister and be like, I'm going to beat your ass if you don't, quit it, kind of a thing.
Yes, she was definitely like that, and it's gone on to me several times like that because I'd never stand up for myself.
Yeah. She, she's like gotta get to it. She's also I know I said that there was a letter F. She also is bringing up possibly the letter I don't know. That's a very vague thing. I gotta figure that one out. um or it could be H. Hold on, give me 1 second. No, it's not. It's definitely the letter T. It's 100% the letter T. And if you don't know it now, like I said, try and write it down and try to figure out what that could be. But it's definitely the letter T. It is not the letter I. She's being very adamant about it. Again, they just give me random stuff. They don't always tell me exactly what it's for, but I do feel as though it's definitely a person that it
My
ties to.
dad's name starts with a T. His name's Terry.
Okay. Now, with this T, she's tying to it. I don't know. You said it's dad, right? She's kind of tying to it. Kind of like Christmas. So I don't know if Christmas is of importance as well, or Christmas time, something with Christmas as well. So I don't know if she's just trying to bring up some memories with this person. I think you said dad.
Possibly, yeah. Terry's dad.
Or again, when someone brings up things like Christmas trees, it could just mean holidays or like actual like month of December kind of a thing. Um,
Could it be like she wasn't around for Christmas kind of thing?
I wouldn't go too deep into it. I don't like going like too like extra. Like
Okay.
9 times out of 10, they're actually like stating it for something. Again, it comes
Okay.
to me in like symbols.
Gotcha.
But she is tying like Christmas tree to it, so I don't know if like that was just like a happy time with that person.
Yeah.
I do feel as though there's not closeness in other parts of the family as there was closeness between the two of you. Would this
Right.
make sense for you as well?
Yes, we were very close compared to anyone else.
I feel as though there was also maybe dysfunction in the family that she's talking about. Um, I feel as though that's why you guys were so close, because it was like the things around you was kind of dysfunctional, or I feel like there was also a lot of tension or like maybe even fighting when it came to the family.
Yes, that's correct.
Um, And I feel as though this is another reason why you guys were so close as you were, because it was kind of like you guys were dealing with it together, if that makes sense. And I feel as though even after, you guys got older, I feel as though you still talked about it. And it was kind of like you guys, kind of made like this like pact, like that you guys would never be like this with your families, and
Yes.
you guys would always remain close. And she wants to talk about that, and she wants to thank you for upholding that end of your word. She also just it's kind of like she sits there and says like, I'm sorry I couldn't hold up my end of the deal of kind of being with you and staying with you, but she is with you. She's just not with you physically, so she doesn't want you to think that she broke the deal. She said she just kind of manipulated it in a different way to where now she's even closer with you because she knows your every waking moment and sees you all day every day and can mess with you whenever she wants. But I think that she's bringing this up because I feel as though there has been moments that you've thought about this. And you've thought about how, like, you guys made plans to be, like, you must have had some type of conversation about how you guys would always be together and you wouldn't let anything tear you guys apart because of how crumbling your family may have been. And she doesn't want you to think that she actually, broke that deal.
That's funny because we actually were supposed to get tattoos together of sharks because that was the thing, was sharks always stay together to keep each other afloat.
Yeah, and she's apologizing for it, but it kind of seems like she was the type of person that where she would kind of make fun of things and like when there's something negative going on, like to try and cheer you up, kind of like making jokes about it and being like, well, I'm actually there closer than you are. Like, she's kind of making jokes like I can even see you like going to the bathroom, like something funny to where like I feel like you guys had a lot of dark humor and I feel like
Yes,
you're using a
we
lot of
did.
that up there. I feel as though there's moments to where you have dark humor and like you think of her and she's letting you know that she's actually giving you the jokes. Like it's not you. Like you're not the funny one. It's all
Okay.
her. It is all her. She is the one. And she's like, I'm the one giving you the ideas on the other side. Like, she was very funny. I feel as though she was a very likable person when someone knew her, but I also see she's kind of saying like she's kind of like Sky, like I kind of had like a RBF face and like people were intimidated by me until they knew me. Would this make sense for her?
Yes, she was an officer, so that makes perfect sense.
She's like people wouldn't look at me and like me until they got to know me and then they were
Yes.
hooked and then they were hooked. I feel as though she's kind of showing me that like she's the life of the party, but not necessarily actually a person who's like going to a party. But I feel as though like if there was some type of situation, she would kind of, make it fun. But I feel as though she kind of says that like things weren't fun unless you guys were both together. When you guys were both together, that's when it was the most fun. And I feel as though a lot of people didn't understand the two of you as well. And I feel as though you guys had like a lot of inside jokes and like that's what you missed the most.
Yes.
And I feel as though she talks about your husband, and I think that she talks about how, like, he's tried to fill that in a sense. And I feel as though he was also like torn with like how to kind of try and not replace, but kind of fill that void. But I feel like he still doesn't, he's still not understanding that, like, this is still like a big fresh wound you still have not healed yet. But I feel like he had, she's kind of talking about how like she's like I still like him. Um
Yes, yeah. That would, yeah, I get that.
okay. She's bringing up something else here. Okay. I can't tell if she's bringing up does someone have like either scar or scratches? Um I can't tell if it's scar or scratches or something with the skin. Um because I don't think it's tattoos because like usually tattoos they'll show me like tattoos. It's more
Mhm.
about like either scratches or like scars of some sorts. Would this make sense for her or someone around you?
Um, depending on location, maybe.
Um, for me, it feels as though it's like directed maybe towards the arms, some type of limb, arms, limbs. It's more like a scratch and like I can. She's kind of just showing me like kind of just like scratch. I can't tell if I feel like something negative towards this as well. If it's not making sense, don't make it make sense. Just let me know and I won't keep
Um,
digging
I,
into
d-
it.
I don't think so on that one. Not of the limb.
I will tell you that'll be the one thing that you need to write down and figure out. Um, and I'll actually, again, I doodle so a lot too. So I'll kind of doodle what I'm seeing here. If I can't figure it out here. Um, if you guys hear stuff in the background too, my son is home. So if you hear him, disregard. He's with my husband. He is not alone, okay? Okay. I feel like she was super tough.
Yeah, she got that quite often.
She's super tough girl. But I feel as though she was super emotional, but she just didn't always show her emotions to most people.
Yes,
Kind of like
I
she
will
had
say that.
a tough shell exterior, and that was like her like kind of mechanism to use. Um,
Yeah, she always tried to mask her emotions.
yeah. I feel as though she wants to talk about kids. So I don't know if there's any kids around, if you have kids or if you were planning on kids, but she wants to talk about something with the kids. Um, she's just kind of showing me some type of youthful. Um, it's either that or she's talking about when you guys were kids. Was there some type of sports or dance involved?
Yes. She has a son and he plays sports.
Okay. I think that's who she is talking about right here. Um, and man, I don't know if you validated earlier about the tension of like the neck or the neck and head area. Um, she's really making me feel it right now.
Um, yes, it. I don't know how much information I can give on that. It's the her estranged husband um who took her life has was injured in the head twice.
Okay. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, the because she's definitely she was very she still has not let up on that one.
But he's still alive, but he has the injury to his head.
Okay, well then that's probably the pain he's feeling. I definitely feel it at like the base of my head and like my neck area. So
Yes, that's where it would be located.
okay, okay. Now she brought that up, and then she brought the kid. So was the kid around him? I was that also his child as well?
No, that was not his child. It was her child, and yes, he was around him initially.
I feel as though was there a couple of kind of she's kind of showing me like red flags. But I feel as though a lot of the red flags had to do with her son around him. I feel as though it's kind of like as if once things started affecting him, that's when things had to stop. Because I feel as though she had like this big protection around like her kid. Um, there's like a big love for a kid, which I'll be very vague. I don't like giving too vague of information, but how she's explaining it to me is more so like she just wanted to protect him.
That's correct.
Protect.
That's very correct.
Um, I feel like this was also very overwhelming for you because I feel like a lot of this got a lot of media.
Yes, it did.
And I feel as though she's kind of like talking about how there are some people that reached out to you and it actually made you angrier with certain people that reached out to you because it was kind of like some people were trying to pretend like they were supportive of her or in her life, or like it was like they acted like they known her for years kind of a thing, but like you knew that they were like being fake and just trying to do it like what's the word that kids now today's use it like clout. um, and I feel like you had a lot of anger surrounding this on top of everything. And instead of you being able to like, I feel like you didn't get your sadness, grief right away. I feel like it was built anger first, and then it was like it would just hit you later on. I feel like she's showing me that it was kind of like big waves, and it was like it was a lot to deal with at once, to where it was like you kind of feel like you never got to like grieve her the right way, if that makes sense.
Yes,
because
that's correct.
it was kind of like a big circus. Like there were so many things going on. It wasn't like your typical like someone had passed, you get to grieve, you get to do this XYZ. Like yours was like your grief was on full on blast for everyone to see. It was kind of like
Yes.
you were very vulnerable. I think that's where the anxiety, the trembling, the shaky um she's also talking about a house as well, so I don't know if this have been in a specific house. She's kind of showing me a house here. House, or she's talking about someone with a house. I know that's very vague, but she's showing me a specific like actual like a house with like a peak kind of roof here. I don't know if this is making sense. I'm gonna draw it for you just in case you don't get it on here. She's also talking about a clock too. So that's usually when they're talking about like timing. So I don't know if it was like something about the timing as well.
Okay.
Um was there also like some type of memorial for her? Because she's kind of showing me like a memorial, something with like flowers and pictures.
Yes, there was a huge memorial.
Now, is that in front of a house or something? Because she showed that immediately after I started speaking about the house.
No, it was at a funeral home.
At the funeral home, okay. Did the funeral home happen to look like a house or have like a peak roof? Because she's really talking about like a really tall
Yeah,
roof here.
I think so.
Okay, well,
Yeah, it does actually.
I drew the picture for you, so if you look at the place up, and then you can kind of see if it's exactly what she's talking about. But it definitely had to do with a house, a memorial with the flowers and the picture she's talking about, and a clock. So I think it was about like the timing. So I'm gonna keep that over there though. So again, I do these doodles for you guys. Don't make fun of my doodles or my writing. It's completely different when I'm on here. I think she wants to talk more on like a positive note. Is I feel as though, what are you trying to bring up right now, babe? I feel as though you have some type of transitional period going on in your life right now. Kind of like something new is happening. On the positive side, it's like you're trying to get things back on track, like with positives. Because again, I feel like this is very fresh, very new still for you. But I feel as though you still got something positive coming your way. Maybe something in the works. I strongly feel as though this has to do with possibly even an occupation as well.
Possibly.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It is very new that her passing. It's not been very long.
Okay. Okay, and her son is pretty young. Her son is on the young side. Because she's talking about her son being young, and I think she also wants to talk about how she's so grateful for how much help she's been getting with people helping out with her son as well. I feel as though she's talking about like the protection that you guys have been giving him as well, especially with how media driven this is. I feel as though she was kind of a private person, so I feel like this was kind of something that would have been like her worst nightmare. Like all these people like kind of knowing her business, knowing what's going on.
Yes, it was very public. And her son. It was kind of funny when you said 4 or 5 because he's 4.
Okay, yeah,
He's
and
almost 5.
that's usually what it is. That's
Yeah, he's
usually what
4.
it is.
He'll be 5 in January, February, March, April, and June.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, there's the numbers. See, that's what I'm saying is that you're going to see all these doodles. And again, there's only, I think, that and then the scratches that you didn't know exactly what it was for. So, this will be sent with you. I will send you a picture of it. Are there any questions you have for me that I can see if I can have her answer? If not, if all of your questions have been answered, that is absolutely perfect. If you think of questions, you can always message me. Again, I'm going to send this picture to you in your DMs as well.
She hasn't said or brought up anything about like the court case or anything.
So I've never dealt with like court cases. Like this is actually my first time I've actually dealing with something. I said in the beginning there's a lot of questions surrounding this. Because that's what the head cloudiness that I was getting. Usually that means that there's a lot of questions. I feel as though this is something that's going to be ongoing for a while. Just because I feel like in just general, it takes a long time for these kind of cases to kind of close in general. I also have a feeling, are they on the cusp of possibly trying to say that he was not in the right mind or something on a mental effect of him, or that he's not physically capable of going through some type of trial? There's something along those lines.
Yes.
Okay. I feel as though that's probably going to be the hardest part for you. Because I think he's if he hasn't already, she's kind of explaining to me that he is going to be along the lines going to be trying to claim something, or his lawyers at least are going to try and claim that he's not either capable of being in court or he just is mentally not there enough to withstand a trial kind of a thing. And I think that's going to be rough for you, but I feel as though you're going to have peace with whatever the turnout is going to be. You're still going to be angry, and I feel as though she says no matter what happens in court, you're still going to be angry no matter what because it happened. But I do feel like you are going to have some type of closure.
Okay.
Yeah, and something also about documents. So I don't know if there's some type of documentation like that they're trying to figure out or they're trying to bring the light. I don't know if it has to do with documentations of like evidence. She's just showing me a bunch of documents. So I don't know if I feel as though maybe whoever, I guess it's your lawyers or whoever is on like your side is bringing up documents of showing that he's actually in the right mind and that this was something that he had building up, maybe evidence of some sorts, but she's just showing me documents. So let me know how this goes, because I would love to see how like this played out and if it has anything to do with what I said with kind of like futuristic kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Keep me in the loop. But I will send this to you. I am going to leave her love and light with you just because we've been going at this for a long time. She had a lot to say.
Yeah.
I wish I can be on here longer for a reading.
I appreciate you.
No, and again, it gets to a point to where like they start to slowly like kind of lose like their energy, and I feel like that at this point, and I don't like trying to pull things and like stretch things. So I am gonna leave her love and light with you. Again, remind me to send this picture of you if I don't send it to you by tonight. If I, for some chance, can't send it to you through a DM because some people's TikToks doesn't allow that. I don't know if it's people's settings. I will just ask for your email and then I will send you an email. My email will be, my TikTok handle, email at Google. I don't know what I'm allowed to say without getting banned, but I will ask for your email. So it's me. Don't think it's a scammer trying to ask for your email. But thank you so much for allowing me to read for her, especially online.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I hope you have a good night. I don't know how to have you exit. I don't know how this works.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's see. All right, guys, that was deep. There was a lot of messages also going on right now. That took a lot of energy out, guys. Wow, she was a tough cookie. I love that. It still doesn't get easier when it's something like something so upsetting that happened, though. I'm so sorry for your loss if you're still here. Absolutely, Kinsey. And again, I am so sorry for your loss. She was a beautiful soul, and having a sister, I feel for you. I really do. Hi, Sarah Bear. I hope I'm saying it right. I have not, so I've connected with animals in a reading with, I guess you would say, with like humans on the other side, but animals have been brought up. But I've never specifically tried to just bring an animal or a pet forward, but animals have popped up for me. Perfect. Okay. All right, guys. So again, I just give myself a couple more minutes to kind of try to get my energy back. Okay, so we are going to just get a couple minutes. You guys have questions, want to talk. Do you ever get random? Oh, Rana, do you have it potentially happen? So it started out, my mediumship journey in general. Guys, I've been working on a video to try and upload some type of video to explain how my mediumship journey started, began, however it was. Every time I do that, my son interrupts the video. So either I'm going to have to start recording a video in my car where he doesn't interrupt with like, you know, mom asking for Nin because he's a breastfed baby. Or I'm going to have to just wait until there's a time my husband takes him out for the day or something. Because every single time I make a video without fail, and I don't know how to edit these videos, and yeah, so I'm trying to do that. But in the very beginning of my mediumship journey, they just came to me. And I tried pushing it away because I had a lot of fear behind it. I had a lot of fear that I was going to bring something negative into my home. I was going to, you know, at the time I had a newborn and I was nervous that I was going to negatively affect him. And so I tried pushing it away, but spirits just would come to me randomly. 9 times out of 10, spirits used to come to me in a shower. And I've learned later on it's because water is healing and apparently is like a great way for a meditative state. You're relaxed, you're in water, which is already a healing element. And I would get random things, like the one time it was my brother-in-law's grandfather who passed years and years ago when he was a little kid. And I was talking to him and he was just giving me all this information. And then I, you know, texted my brother-in-law after. I'm like, hey, would this make sense for like an older man in your life? Like, sorry to be weird. And he's a non-believer, so he was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you telling me all this? Like, how do you know this? And I'm like, yeah, so funny thing, I think I can talk to dead people right now. Using my dark humor. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he was shocked from that moment, and he became a believer that day. But it started out that way, but I've learned to control it because I've learned that being a medium, if you don't control how to turn it on and off, it drains your energy. I also heard once that it can make you have a shorter life because of all of the energy that gets drained from you while you are doing readings. So I don't want that to happen, so I turn it on and off. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Erhat. Oh, I'm sorry, Erin. I see you did write your name. I'm so sorry for your loss. Losses. Again, I'm just trying to cool off from the last reading, guys. I will do one more reading for tonight. And Again, because I can't get to everyone and I talk a lot in readings, my readings are very long and detailed. I don't like to cut spirit off until I feel like spirit is starting to slip away because the energies are starting to go down. So please feel free to DM me. I'll direct you to my email, or you can directly email me. It's the same as my TikTok handle at Goog Mail. I don't know what I can say without getting banned. And I can do a private reading. I typically like to do them on the weekends because I have a lot more time, a lot more flexibility to schedule things. I love that I definitely feel entities at times, but never have courage to tap in. Yeah, so I was kind of sensitive my entire life. As a kid, I was sensitive. Even in my teenage years, I was sensitive, but I always directed it with fear. And after my son was born is when I had pretty much my spiritual awakening to where things just got 10 times worse and I couldn't shut it off and I couldn't run away from it. I'll make a video one day and I'll just start directing people to my page to watch it. Because it is pretty much a long story because I had avoided it for so long, but even all the times I avoided it is super important for the story. Again, I just gotta find time, peace, and quiet so I can make the video with no interruptions. Again, it might be videoed in my car and I'm just gonna have to say 5 times, I swear I'm not driving. Because I don't want the video to be taken down for being in my car. But all right, guys, so if you would like a reading on my live, I am going to do another reading. All I need you guys to do is send the relationship of the person that you would like to speak with, a loved one you would like to speak with. Just the relationship. Do not put any other details. I am told that people are getting scammed from people because you're putting all your details in and they're trying to act like they've already came up with this information. Also, if your TikTok handle is a strange name or like a name that's not like a real name, please also write your name so I don't have to keep calling you by your TikTok handle. You know, that would be a little more helpful. I'll ask it anyway, but it's a lot easier for me to say, hey, or is so-and-so here. But you guys feel free to send it over and over again as long as TikTok allows you to. Again, I will just go to whoever I'm drawn to. And that kind of looks like after I see a name, either the name starts repeating in my head over and over. That's what Kinsey's case was. I kind of heard her name over and over in my head. And when I looked, her name popped up again. That's kind of like what I mean when I say like I'm drawn to your name. And now I have to drag a puzzle piece or it's going to end. There we go. Okay, Haas, let me see, I think you might have commented a name. Haas, are you still here? Haas. I think you were looking to speak to Mom. And what did you say your name was again? I think you put your name next to it. Or maybe it wasn't. Amy is your name? Okay, hi Amy. Okay, so perfect. Okay, hi Amy. Have you ever have you watched my live before, or at least watched the last live to kind of see how it works? Strong about it. Well, you were drawn here for a reason, just like I was drawn to your name. Okay, so if you've never been to my life, welcome. Good luck, because I talk a lot. And you did see that last one. Okay, clearly you see that I talk a lot. There's going to be a lot of information that comes through. I do write down a lot of the things that I see in the reading. I do talk a lot, so not everything will be on here, but I do upload all of my videos to my YT page where you can upload videos. Can't say any type of platforms without getting banned. So I upload them there, so I need you to be comfortable with that. You can always refer to that if there's information that maybe you can't take now, but you can take 2 to 3 days from now. You got to let me know if everything that is coming to me is for the person you were trying to speak to, which I believe was Mom. I'm going to write that down for Hoss, whose name is Amy. Okay. And then we will go from there, and you just let me know if nothing's making sense. It can either be another loved one trying to come through, or it could be someone else's loved one on this live. It's only, like I said, that's only happened once when I first started TikTok, and I was just trying to learn how to do it like this. But I still say it just in case, because you never know. If you hear my son, I don't think he's very happy right now, but he's with Dad. He's not by himself. Who did I pick? I picked Hoss, guys. That's Amy. You'll come up for easier communication. Perfect. I don't know how. I don't know if I can hit this button, if this button makes it worse. Let's see. Oh, you already requested it, and I just accepted it. Hi, Amy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
There we go. That's a lot better. Okay. I'm going to turn you down just so, again, my son don't hear. I'm trying to, like, not let him know that I'm in here right now. How are you doing tonight before we begin?
I'm good. I'm
You're
good.
good. All right, perfect. So I am going to be silent for a little bit. I am going to spit out some evidence here. If it resonates with you, let me know. If not, let me know, and we'll just go from there, okay?
Sure.
Again, I don't direct these readings. Spirit does all the work, so we'll just see what they have to say.
All right.
He's not happy, guys. So I'm getting a couple of things. I'm gonna just start laying some things out just so that we can make sure that we are connecting with mom before we move on to anybody else. So I did get so I explain how I feel so that you know exactly why I'm coming to the conclusions I'm coming to. So I did feel a very sweaty, kind of hot flashy feel. A lot of times this can direct me towards maybe vascular circulatory issues like blood pressure, heart, that kind of a sort of thing. I did get the sense of she was kind of talking about like being more on like maybe more of a, I don't want to say super strict side, but more of like a rules, you know, this is the way it goes kind of a thing, like did stick to her ways. I feel like she may have also been a little bit of old school as well. I did get the feeling as though also that she was kind of, and here's the hot flashes again. I do feel as though she was kind of talking a lot about, kind of showed me apron. So apron to me can usually come up as like just someone who's in the kitchen a lot, could be homemaker, that sort of a thing. I do feel as though she may have been old school in certain ways, but it's kind of like they're explaining to me that like over time they kind of got a little bit loose when it came to certain things, or like I guess with like the modern way. And I also felt like she was drawing me to her eyes, and I feel as though it was more about like maybe like a struggling with eyes or like eyesight in general. Would any of this make sense for you from mom?
All of it. She passed away of a heart. Well, she didn't really have a heart attack. She had like the COVID shot. And then after she had the COVID shot, she started just deteriorating a little bit. And then she had multiple heart attacks back to back. And then they diagnosed her with heart failure. It was all within a matter of about 3 months. So we got the diagnosis of her being in heart failure, and then within less than 30 days, she passed away. She was extremely set in her ways to the point to where she would not go into like a hospital facility or a hospice facility. She stayed home alone as long as she could. Like she literally was bedbound because she was so weak. And the hospice nurse would come in and they would just put snacks and stuff in the bed with her, and she would stay home alone until the next person came, or I came, or my sister came, or whatever. And then finally, when it got to the last days, she was like, okay, I'm ready to go. So then I took her to the hospice facility and we went, and she lasted less than, I think it was 2 days, and then she passed away. So she knew how to handle it, and she wanted to do it her way. So she was very strong and set in her ways. She did not cook, but she was a seamstress and a sewer, and she made aprons and made quilts and things like that.
She showed me, so I don't know if specifically with the aprons and the quilts that she made, but she showed me apron, but like she really directed me towards like a lace. So I don't know if that's like more specific for you, but that's kind of what she showed me, was like the lace part of like an apron, like kind of like the lace kind of like edges of like a apron.
Well, the thing about that, like, I guess the lacy part is I had a favorite blanket when I was little, and it had like the edge of it was like satin and lacy. And I always like to rub my fingers through it, and it got old and she would have to fix it and sew it. So maybe that's that.
That could be it too as well. No, you take it however you take it, because I can only kind of predict what they're showing me images about. I can only, that's why I say like normally this is what it could be, but it's your life and it's your relationship with your mom, so you know best exactly who she's talking to and what it is. So 100% that is exactly what she's talking about. She showed the apron, she showed the lace, and that resonates with you how it resonates with you.
Right.
I can only guesstimate exactly what it could be, because I would have no idea unless it was you that you rubbed your fingers on a lace blankie. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I said take everything that I say and take it into your own words. And then her eyes, did she struggle with her eyes?
So she was diabetic, and she had, now this was long before she ever passed away. She had to have multiple surgeries from retina detachment in her eyes.
Yeah.
So probably the last year of her life, she quit driving because her eyesight was so bad that she couldn't see to drive. They actually deemed her legally blind. I mean, she was still able to live at home, and she could see to that point, but she did definitely have issues with her eyes.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, I think we're pretty confident that we are with mom here. So let's see what else that she has coming through for you, and we will continue with this reading, all right? So I'm also getting the feeling she's kind of bringing up I know you said she's seamstress, but she's kind of bringing up I don't know. I feel like this is something that like may have even driven you crazy. I feel as though she was one to talk about how like she's kind of old school in the sense to where it was like dressing to impress. Like she was not one person who would be okay with like how all these kids and everyone goes everywhere in their sweatpants kind of a
Yes.
thing.
Definitely.
It's kind of like she's like what are you doing? Like get back in your house like that. Like don't you dare go out looking like that.
Yes.
Because she's kind of showing it, and I feel as though I don't know if maybe you dress like that now or now you're comfortable with how you go out, and it's just like she's like, I see what you're doing. She's like, I would not let you out of the house like that kind of a thing. But I feel like she was very old school in that sense when it came to clothing.
Yeah, she always thought that you should look your best regardless.
There we
She
go.
always felt that way.
I also I feel as though she was also a type of person who had things in her home, like even growing up, things that she had very strong emotional attachments to. I feel as though she liked things a particular way, like things that she may have had that you and I might look at and just look as it's just clutter or junk or
Yes.
like some whatever. For her, it was like, don't you dare touch that, like that's mine, don't like kind of a thing. I feel like she had like she was the type of person that like if she had something and it had some type, she would come up with some story as to why it was an emotional attachment and she needed it and that's where it stayed. But I feel as though it's not like it was like a hoarder. Like I feel like she was very upkeep with like a home kind of a thing, because again I think she was very like, you know, modern, like old school, to where it was like you didn't have a messy home. Like, but I do feel like she had a lot of things.
She
But
was
the things were in their
definitely,
place.
yeah, she was definitely a hoarder, but she was an organized hoarder.
And that's what she's showing me. She's got
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, but she
Yes.
knows where it is. She can get to it right away.
Yes.
And you and I would make it would look like clutter to us, but to her it's not.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah. And I feel as though she's kind of showing me, because I kind of asked them like so along the line of things. I feel as though she just kind of had a mix of everything. It wasn't even something specific that she had over and over again. It was just like a lot of things. It was just like she would be drawn to something, it would be hers, and then that was it. That was history. It was going to stay.
Yep, definitely.
Like it was, a lot of things were random.
She was a thrift store junkie, so she
Yep.
loved all of that kind of stuff. She actually ran
little trinkets, right? That's the
Yep.
word she was telling me, is her little trinkets.
Yeah, and she actually ran a little thrift shop for a while, like at a flea market.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. She's also bringing up, so she's bringing up how like she was very loud when she wanted to be.
Always loud.
She's just bringing up like this loudness to her, and I feel as though like she's also bringing up that there was a specific tone that if she spoke in that tone, you knew she meant real business. And it was like, if she said your name in this tone, you better be downstairs or with her in like 5 seconds flat, and that's it. It was like you understood like her tone, and it wasn't even that she was like a mean person. Like it was just like she kind of wired you this way to where like you knew when she's like being dead serious. Like you've got to like, you know, again, she has these values and she stuck with those values, very old school.
Yes.
So she's also bringing up her hair, and I feel as though there was like a hair was like importance to her, because again, she was very important when it came to her appearance. But I feel as though like her hair was kind of like, was her hair almost like always the same, or always the same upkeep, or like a really long routine, something with the hair?
Yes. So my family has a genetic disorder called Manilithrex, which is called the beaded hair disease. It's a very old school disease. People don't hear about it nowadays. So my mom actually didn't have a lot of hair at all. she grew up, you know, in the 50s era, and she learned how to wear a wig. So once
Important
she
to her.
would,
There we
right,
go.
it was extremely important to her because without the wig, you know, she just didn't feel whole or normal as a woman, I guess.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, she would keep the same style of wig, you know, and the same hair.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Every once in a while, she would change it up, but mostly kept the same one. But that's what it is with the hair. She was
Yeah.
very self conscious, I guess, about her hair. Like you were not allowed to see her without her wig, you know, unless you were one of her children.
She's worried about her appearance. She's like, hello,
Yeah.
it's the first thing you see on me.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's what that is, I'm sure.
I feel as though she's also bringing up how, I don't know if witty is the word for it, but it's more so like she would say things and like people would laugh, but like that wasn't her intention. Her intention wasn't to make people laugh, but like the things that she said and did made people laugh anyway. And then she would be like, what's so funny? Like she wasn't trying to be funny, but she was just automatically funny. And I think this is more towards like the older she got, more so because of like her being stuck in her ways and kind of like people making fun of her of a laughter kind of a thing. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
she would always say things
Like out of pocket.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And definitely would make people laugh. And yeah, she didn't understand it. That's absolutely truth. And she was very loud, very opinionated. You know, you could always tell if you were in the house in a different room, you could always tell when it'd be like, oh, mom's home. I hear her already, you know.
She made her presence known.
Yes.
I feel as though she's like, she just really seems like this person. Like she knows who she is. She's not afraid of who she is. She knows who she is. Like she was just very confident in the type of person that she was, and she didn't BS anything. Like it was just like her way, the highway. But I do feel like even though she had this big, like strong, you know, personality to her when it came to those things, she still was a very loving person. And I feel as though she loved, but she loved hard.
Yes.
So some people might see this love, like it was like tough love, but like not the type of tough love that you would think. It was just tough love because like she loved so much to where it was kind of like controlling in a sense, but it's because she was doing it out of love. Like her controlling nature was out of love because it was kind of like she's your mom. Her job is to make you turn out the way that you need to turn out. She needs you to be this way, this way, this way. And that may seem controlling to people, but it was because she loved you and she wanted the best for you. So like she was doing certain things to try and give you the best life she could. She kind of, it talks about how she sees that now that, you know, she probably could have backed off a little bit. I feel as though she didn't realize really how controlling she was being at the moment. She was just kind of being like, I'm your mom, not your friend kind of a thing. But I feel as though you don't see it this way because I feel as though you also were raised to where like you respect your mom. Whereas in these kids these days kind of see that and they're like, don't tell me what to do. I'm my own person and I do this. Like you're like, that's my mom. She raised me right. I turned out okay. We're solid.
Right. That was more so, I think, resonating for my sister. So my sister is 9 years younger than me. And me and my mom spent a long time, and it was just me and my mom. So we were like best friends, you know, in an aspect. But she used to always tell me she didn't have to worry about me because I was her street kid. And I knew, you know, how to handle the world and this and that because I was a lot like her. But now my little sister was completely different. And my mom did a lot of hovering with her and a lot of that overprotective and trying to, definitely controlling when it came to my little sister. Absolutely.
I think she's also bringing up, what the heck is that? She wants to talk about school. I'll try and dive deeper into what she wants to specifically say about school, but she wants to talk about school. Schooling, education. Is someone in some type of schooling or education?
Actually, so that again goes back, I think, to my little sister.
Okay, so she is on a sister tangent right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so because now she was just, like I said, very hovering of my little sister. But my little sister would was in college, and she would like, stop taking classes for a little while, then go back, and it was kind of a back and forth thing for multiple years. But then after my mom passed, she actually graduated and got her bachelor's degree. So it was always a big thing of us and be like, wow, mom would be flipping out right now that you actually went through and finished.
Um, and I know this might, again, I hate doing letters and numbers that that they say to me. And this is a very outlandish letter. So I almost don't even want to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway because this is your reading. This is what she says. So she did give me the letter V. I don't know if that resonates with anything or anyone around you. If not, I'm going to circle it. And then when I send you this picture in your DMs of all the different things that I have written down, you can try to figure out what it is.
Okay.
um,
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
she's also talking about she's talking about like her belongings. Do you have some of her things? Does someone have some of her things? Hold on, she's talking about some of her things. Let me ask her to be a little more specific though. I feel as though were her things kind of dispersed to multiple people? Because I feel as though more than one person has something that belonged to her. Like a keepsake of some sort.
So, I got some stuff, my sister got some stuff, and my aunt got
Kind of
some
like
stuff.
dispersed, yeah. Because I think she wants to she's kind of talking about how she wants to kind of thank you guys for keeping her things. Again, it seems as though she's very tied to a lot of her belongings.
Yes.
But I feel as though the things that you guys took were the things that meant more to you about her, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like she's kind of showing that like the things that you have are the things that resonate the most with you with her. Same for sister, she has some stuff. But more in general, I feel like she just has a lot of love for kind of how, I mean, I think she's apologizing because I feel like she was very difficult in the end. I know we talked about her being super stubborn, but I feel as though there was a lot of anger and tension towards the end. And I feel as though she wants to express her gratitude for, you dealing with it and for you, kind of giving her the tough love that she had given all of you guys. And stuck it out for her. I feel as though, she just kind of really talks about how like uncomfortable she was, but she seems like this, she's kind of explaining that she's the type of person that like she expressed her fear out of what looks to other people as anger. Like she was actually very like she had like a lot of fear about what was going on, but she wouldn't let people know that she was feared. Like she was,
Right.
Scared. So like she would outburst and it would like be like, yelling at people, be possibly difficult with nurses and, her stubbornness. But it was because she didn't want to truly show her true emotion, which was fear. But it was more so because she's such a tough person. And I feel as though she was the type of person that like kind of had like a hard shell about her. Like
Yep.
she didn't truly show her emotions. She didn't show really like how she was feeling because it was kind of like a coping mechanism for her.
Okay.
I don't know if I think I put pen on my lip. Sorry. But it just she just wants to like talk about how like she's very appreciative for how you guys handled it. I feel as though she literally says like you were there till like the very end. And I feel as though you guys also put on a brave face as well. And I feel as though she says that, it was hard for you guys to accept how she passed too because it was so unexpected.
Yeah.
And it was like you really like because of what was going on, it was like you didn't truly grasp that she was passing. It was more about, you thought she was just going to get better and like things were just really bad at that moment. And then it was just like like this. Like it was just like she just went south and like as south as it goes, and then it was like she was gone. And it was like kind of like a big utter shock to where it was like not only, you know, if people, you know, sit there and never have the thought of like what happens if I lose my parents, like our parents are going to live forever. What do you mean? You know what I mean? But for you it was like a whole different ball game on top of that, because it was, you weren't even prepared because you didn't think something like that could even happen.
It was the hardest on me. And
And
I don't know if it's because I'm the oldest. Me and my mom were differently connected than my sister and her were, but it was definitely way harder on me than it was anyone else.
yeah, and I feel as though I mean, truly, she's your mom, so I know anyone's going to say that they haven't gotten over it, but I feel like there is a really significant part of you that has still not gotten over it. And I feel as though you directed a lot of anger towards like the medical world because of it.
Yep.
And I feel as though you even sat there and did a lot of research to see if like something happened, like some type of malpractice happened. And I think she kind of sits there and says, like, I don't know if this was the type of person she was, but she's like, if it was her time to go, it was her time to go. I don't know if she was religious by any means, but it was more so like it sucks. It happened, but you know, it was obviously something that was meant to happen for her. And I think she doesn't want you to harbor all that anger. And I feel as though she's comforting you the way that she would comfort you if she was here. I also feel, do you feel as though she kind of is around you sometimes? Do you get like a sort of, she's kind of showing me like a sense of smell, something about a significant smell with her.
Yeah.
That you,
I definitely do get a sense of smell. I definitely do. And then there was one time that I actually heard her call my name. I was at home alone with my kids, and even my kids were like, "Is that Gran?" Like they heard it. They call her Gran. And they heard it too, and I was like, "Wow, you guys heard that?" It was very strange.
yeah,
But yes.
she was bringing up how like she had like a significant smell, and that you'll smell it now, and that's her around you. She's always around you. I feel as though you weren't as open to the other side of things until she passed, because it was more so of you like hoping that
Yes.
you would be able to see her again, because she's like, this isn't something that you were always open to until
Wow.
she passed, and then that kind of opened you up, because it was kind of like hope. It was like hope that there is something, because you wanted to be able to, you know, her be around. Like there's no way your mom could be gone. Like it's like this is your mindset. Like there's no way she could be gone. That there's no way that could be the end. Like there's got to be something more. She's got to still be around, and it's not something that you would have, you know, believed before, but it was like you were now open to it, because you were like, well, there's got to be something, you know, that's not the end. It's kind of like a cliffhanger in a movie. It's like, well, what's next? Like I got to be able to talk to her again. I got to be able to see her again. She's got to be somewhere. And I feel like think that like that opened you up as like a totally different person. And I feel as though this happening to you did turn you into a different person.
Absolutely. I'll tell you something else real quick. When you said earlier that you felt like, or however it felt like that she was going to get better, and we didn't accept the fact that she was going to die, that's actually what she told me to feel better. So when she was, you know, real sick, and that's what they had told us, that she was dying, and I was losing it. Like I was having a really hard time with it. And she was trying to tell me how to deal with her passing. And she told me, she was like, but we don't know what's going to happen. The doctors came in and they said, there's a chance I might get better. So it's just strange that you say that, you know, that's something she actually told me to try to get me to calm down one day.
Well, a lot of times spirits literally will tell me, and it's not the first time it's happened. They will talk like not like through me. It's not like Exorcist, I'm gonna start talking like this, but it's kind of like they say things and then I repeat it, and it's because they want me to specifically say that to kind of like be like, hey, like it is me. Like I wouldn't know this conversation you had with mom. I wouldn't know anything that your mom has ever told you. However, she's your mom. So even on the other side, even in her dire moments when she's going, of course she was going to sit there and comfort you, because that's what mamas do. No matter if she's the one who needs the comfort, and she's still going to comfort you. Us moms will always comfort our babies until the very end. And again, she still is mothering you on the other side as well. So our job is never done. No matter if you're 92 years old, you're you know, you're still my baby kind of a thing.
Right.
But I feel as though she's doing this because you needed to know if she truly was there. And again, you said that you came across my live and immediately I said
Yeah.
your name. Like,
Mhm.
she meant for you to be here. She spirits usually draw me to people, and it's because they know who needs to hear it the most. And clearly you needed to hear it the most, and I am very grateful that you stopped upon my live, because I feel like this is a really good closure for you. It's not the end. I don't think she's still going to keep messing with you. She's definitely going to mess with you. But again, I feel like it's because you kind of had your own epiphany when she passed. Like, you are a completely different person. I feel like you're very open to stuff like this now. And 9 times out of 10, and what I tell everyone, when you open yourself up to the other world, you get to be closer to the other world. Like, that's, people having spiritual awakenings and becoming mediums, like, it's because they change. Like, spiritual awakenings usually happen from someone who has gone through something. My spiritual awakening, like, things got like crazy for me, and I became like, I started actually talking to spirits when my son was born. And that was a very big thing that happened in my life, whether it was a passing. A lot of people will become, start talking to spirits after a loved one passed. And it's because a big milestone or a big thing that happened in your life caused this big eruption into your life. And that's what the spiritual awakening happens. And it's something that's big, and something happened to you. You lost your mother and you didn't know that was going to happen. And just like we all do, we search for answers. That's what we always do. Anytime something's wrong, what do? We go straight to Google and we start searching answers, and we do research and we do what we can. And that's what you did, because you couldn't, it's hard to know what a life is without your mother.
Right.
Mother, father, family, whoever it is.
To this day, and I will always believe that it was the COVID shot that gave her the heart failure, because that was one of the side effects on it. And it was literally right after the booster from the first shot when all of this happened. Because prior to that, my mom, she was 72 when she passed. But she always was in good health. Like, she had diabetes for years, but she managed it for years. She was in perfect health. So to get the devastating news that my mom was in heart failure, I was like, you've got to be crazy. There's no way. And that's why I blamed it on the COVID shot, because that's the only.
I won't put it past it. I have a loved one, without sparing any details, who had issues after getting like COVID in general, and people say the side effects of COVID shot, again, without getting political on here or anything.
Right.
But whatever your instincts are, you need to stay true to your instincts. You need to trust your instincts. And
I just think it's funny that she brought through the message that I was doing research and I was mad at the medical field, because that's the absolute truth. Absolutely.
Oh, 100%. And again, that was her validating that she knows what you're still doing even after she's gone, because she's still around. She hasn't left you. She may have left you in the physical world, but she's still on the other side. So she knows what you're going on. She knows that she's sending her smell to you. She knows, the conversations you've had, the thoughts you've had. She knows how much you love her. And that's just her validating it. So again, they do all the work. I didn't do anything. She's doing all the work. She's done amazing. I appreciate you for, being able to allow me to read for you, and especially coming up here so everyone can hear you. It's definitely a lot different than typing. But I do thank you for allowing us to read for her. She's beautiful.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm going to leave her love and light with you, okay? If you have any questions, go ahead and send me a message. I'm going to send this to you. It's just my doodles and all the words and some of the things that I have, okay?
All right. Thank you so much. It was great.
If I don't, remind me and I will send it to you, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, guys. I'm going to read some comments and then I got to bounce soon. That was amazing. I mean, it's always crazy. It is crazy when, spirits do things that you don't even think is going to happen. I've had people tell me how like I've sounded like their loved one saying certain things, and I don't even realize it. After this, after me logging off, I don't remember half of the things that happened during my readings. Unless I go to my YT page, it has all of my videos uploaded on there. I don't know. It's kind of like I black out in a sense, to where like, because it really isn't my words, it really is spirit's words trying to conversate with you and sending you validation so that you know they're on the other side. It's a comforting thing. So they do all of the work. Oh, thank you so much, Lori. Thank you so much. I don't know how to say your name, Mrs. R Hat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm so happy with all the likes and the follows. Oh, hi, Nicole. Hi, Nikki. I didn't even know you were on here. Finally, you're on here, actually. Now you got to send it to your mom. Oh, thank you, Gidget. Thank you so much. Hi, Danny. Yeah, and guys, like I said, all my videos go to the YT page, just because, you know, I think that it's important that people can, you know, I've had readings done in the past. Like, I think last time I've had readings when I was like in my early 20s, it was like a birthday party, and you kind of blank when it's happening. Like, you kind of, it's like you're so stuck in that moment and you're like so in awe, and like it's kind of like you're grieving all over again when you get to talk to the loved ones, that like you forget what they say and you wish you can recall, or you know, like you just wish you had all the information. So that's why I try to do everything I can so that you guys can, you know, get the information we talked about. I write down everything that I can try and say. I talk a lot, so like sometimes I don't write down everything, so that's why I upload all the videos on some type of platform so that you guys can go back and listen to it. And you know, maybe if there's some things, I don't think there's anything Amy didn't claim here, but there's, you know, anyone who has something that they might not know in the moment exactly what I'm talking about, and then like 2 or 3 days later, like for example, I had someone and I kept saying they were talking about jeans. I'm like, do they wear jeans a lot? And she's like, no, they did not like wearing jeans. And then 2 days later, she's like, I completely blanked. She's like, my middle name is Jean. I was like, well, I mean, again, I can only interpret how they're showing me. I can tell you they're showing me a symbol of a pair of jeans. It's not like they specifically tell me, hey, her middle name is Jean. They give me signs, symbols, feelings. Sometimes I hear words, but most of the time it's seeing things and just kind of knowing. I can try and interpret that, but I try not to, because how I interpret is not, you know, it's not what it's meant for you. You guys are the ones who are in the relationships with your loved ones. How often are you online? I am, so again, I am a full-time working mom, mother to a almost 2-year-old. So I try to go on 2 days, sometimes 3 days a week. I've been trying to stick, this year I've been trying to stick to Mondays, Wednesdays, possibly Fridays, around the same time. I usually hop on around like 6:30ish. You know, sometimes life gets in the way, you know. My son will always come first, so if I come home and he's not in a good mood, I'm not going to hop on. I do try to make a post every once in a while. If you guys check out my page, there's times where I say, hey, going live tonight. So I kind of do try to give a heads up. Today was kind of a spur of the moment. I didn't know if I was coming on or not, but my husband happened to not even be home. He had my son out. So I was like, oh, I'm going to hop on real quick as fast as I can. So I try to. That's why I always tell people to kind of follow. Apparently there's something you can hit on a page and it sends you notifications when the people you follow are live or on, or notifications of some sort. So that's why I always tell people to try to do that. Again, I'm not fully well-versed in TikTok yet. I'm trying to get there. Oh, older kids. Yeah, no, I only have the one young son. Spirit messages are common. Yes, they are, because they just show you like they're still there. They're just not there in the physical world anymore. And as tough as that is, at least you guys can find comfort that they're there. They're still a part of your lives. They know what's going on. They know how you feel. And like I tell everyone, spirits, when they cross over on the other side, they get like a whole outlook of life. They get to see the bigger picture of things. They get to see point of views of things. So I feel like it's such a healing thing to know that, like, even if you struggled with a relationship with someone who's on the other side, if you had a a rough relationship with your mom on the other side, and you know, you wish she was stubborn-headed, she never saw your point of view, you feel like maybe she didn't know how much you loved her. When they cross over, they know everything. They know all over it. They know of the things that they've done wrong. They know the things that they should have done, shoulda, coulda, woulda. They know all of it, and it's so peaceful on the other side that everything is just love. Just love. And that's just how spirits tell me. And I find comfort in that, because I feel as though, you know, they may break our hearts here on the physical world when they're no longer with us, but they can still heal us on the other side. And, you know, and it's why I love doing what I do, because that's what I get out of this, guys. I get out of, you know, this is why I just go on live, and I just love the validation that they give family. And I love, you know, I don't like seeing you guys cry or anything, but I do like seeing the healing that I literally get to see healing. Okay, and that's just everything to me, to be honest. I told her to join, but she didn't see the text yet. I'm not surprised, Nicole. Hi, Danielle. Rat or Aaron? Okay, Miss Rat. Mrs. Rat. Behaving in spirit. I mean, listen, if your parents didn't behave here in the physical world, they're probably not behaving in the other world. They are themselves. They are fully themselves. Again, they are the most peace. So however they enjoyed living here is how they're living on the other side. Again, guys, if you guys want to read in, feel free to send me a message, a DM, or send me an email. My email is the same handle as my TikTok. Again, I've only been doing this for a short amount of time, so I'm still trying to find the ins and outs of things, but I do love doing private readings. I do it on the weekends. I have a few coming up this weekend as well, but I try to space them out as much as I can, because I don't like making people wait for a long time. So feel free to send me a DM. I'm pretty flexible when it comes to like times and trying to make something, you know, work. So feel free to do whatever you want, DM, email, whatever is more comfortable for you. Oh, click the bell for notifications, guys. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. They loved it bigger, but it was funny. And that's just how they are on the other side. 9 times out of 10, they will tell me and they will describe to me how they were as a person. And that's the way that they will show me. It's like kind of like I know them. When they're talking to me, it's kind of like I know them. And I'm like, oh, this person was so stubborn-headed, or, you know, vice versa. So it happens. But with that, guys, I am going like more than one. Do you do readings with siblings like more than one person? Do you mean the person who are sitting or the loved ones on the other side, Mrs. Hat? Do you mean like more than one person getting the reading done? So you and your sister want a reading together to talk to someone on the other side? Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm completely open to everything. Again, this is why I just kind of tell people, you know, I do, you know, this is why I say that I'm flexible to where, you know, as long as everyone knows that, like, I'm not afraid to do new things. So if you needed a reading for you and said other person, we can totally try it. I don't know what's going to happen, but I mean, hey, I mean, it's got to start somewhere, right? I think it's actually funny because I actually did get an email this weekend, and it was someone who said that they also wanted someone, a reading for them and someone else as well. So it could be cool. Absolutely. Yep. Just go ahead, send me an email or send me a message on DM. However, I'm pretty flexible with that kind of stuff. Again, I do try to do on weekends because I have a little more flexibility with like time because I don't work on the weekends. Again, I got a crazy almost 2-year-old, and anyone who knows him knows he keeps me on my toes, and he is definitely a mama's boy, and he's attached to my hip. I know you guys heard him a little bit in this live. So, but thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try and go live on, what's today, Wednesday? I'm going to try and go live on Friday. Again, I've been trying to do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's been my goal this year, to try and have a more continuous schedule when it comes to TikTok. No, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for everyone who's been here as long as you guys have. I really enjoy it. I love doing what I do. And to think I almost turned it away too. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your night, and I will try to see you guys Friday. Other than if you guys send me a message or whatever. All right. Thank you so much. Love you guys all.